Elon Musk's warning of Russia over the Ukraine conflict has just come to pass. It is sad that Russia has decided to invade Ukraine. The conflict has raised tensions in Europe. In the worst-case scenario, Elon predicts that it could lead to World War III. In this video, World War III, in my opinion. It is evident that Russia's Vladimir Putin has ignored Elon's warning by starting a war with Ukraine. Military analysts and reporters across major media outlets had foreseen the conflict. It is rather unfortunate for Europe and the rest of the world when Putin announced military operations in Ukraine. The Russian army started the invasion on the 24th of February 2022. By now, you are probably wondering why the Moscow government has declared war on Ukraine. There is no need to worry since and Ukraine can be traced to January 2021 when Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky urged US President Joe Biden to let Ukraine join NATO. The move greatly angered Russia, who started moving their troops to the Ukrainian border for training exercises. By December last year, the US became suspicious of the massive buildup of the Russian forces along the Ukrainian border. The US intelligence reports would later reveal that Russia was planning to attack Ukraine. It is at that point when President Joe Biden warned Russia of sanctions if they dare attack Ukraine. But why would Russia not want Ukraine to join NATO? It's simple. Here is the answer. NATO is an intergovernmental military organization that has 27 European countries, 2 North American countries, and 1 Eurasian country. The US, UK, and France are some of the major countries in NATO. It is also important to note that Russia and the US are arch rivals who are most military and technological advancement of the US will give it an advantage over Russia. America is literally the home of every technology. The US may decide to deploy some of its nuclear bombers that have the potential of evading the radar detection. The US will overcome Russia as they have a stronger economy. Financial support is very critical for the success of war. The US has enough money that it can use in war. Do not forget that America is the home to some of the greatest billionaires in the world. According to Bloomberg Billionaires Index, the US has 8 out of the top 10 richest men on Earth come from America. Billionaires such as Elon Musk will support Musk, US, and Ukraine against Russia. So far, more than 40 Ukrainians and 50 Russian soldiers have died in the war between Russia and Ukraine. Putin's army has unleashed a number of missiles to targets in Ukraine. It is now clear that Russia will stop at nothing. Vladimir Putin has even indicated on live TV that he is ready for whatever outcomes of the war. The Ukrainian Prime Minister has advised their Ukrainians to protest against the war. The Kyiv government has mocked Russia by comparing Putin to Hitler. Top officials in Kyiv believe that Putin will cause World War III just as Hitler caused World War II. They have also called upon their allies to stand by them. NATO has promised to give Ukraine all the necessary support they need. The NATO chief will convene a meeting that will discuss how they will help Ukraine overcome the crisis. Generally, Russia has received widespread condemnation for attacking Ukraine. Australia's Scott Morrison, South Korea's Moon Jae, and Israel's Naftali Bennett are some of the world leaders that have castigated Putin's action of invading Ukraine. The war between Russia and Ukraine has begun just as it was predicted by Elon Musk.